radio shows broadcasts on KYOK are entirely those of the host, guests, and callers who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
When you walk out on that field today, ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! And go to the house! And go to the house! When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We ready? Let's go to the house. Let's go to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how like we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up with chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from him. He's a man. They can be a hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. When you step on the field, man. That's war out there. Busy morning. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We ready? Let's go to the house. Let's go to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
I know. Game's just getting started right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones, Freestyle Friday, and it's the I Told You So edition of Freestyle Friday. I don't normally do it. In fact, normally what I come in and do is read a prepared statement about how I owe an apology to somebody, like I did with Clint Capella, a few guys. I did one for Dame Dollar, a few guys. I owed an apology to Josh Allen. I remember my prepared statements where I've come in and just flat out apologized. I owe Willie Gibson an apology. I said something about him having to get his due right and everything yesterday. I felt bad about it. I got a prepared statement. But Willie, you and I are brothers. I apologize. But every now and then, even a blind squirrel will find a nut. Every now and then, a broken clock is right 2 times out of the day. I told y'all. You ain't want to listen to me. Everybody wanted to be like, no, AJ, you don't know what you're talking about. Bloody, skippy, and here we are. So, y'all have to put up with me today. You're gonna have to put up with me today. Today, you got to put up with me. I'm sorry. It's I Told You So Freestyle Friday. So, I'm gonna freestyle on a whole bunch of stuff. I told y'all. Listen, we're just coming on. I got to get my breaks in. I got to get my sponsors in. It's Freestyle Friday, so I'm even gonna give away a family 4-pack to the Children's Museum of Houston and a Dickey's barbecue sandwich. I'm going to do that today because it's Freestyle Friday and I told you so. So, hey, Keith Hennick. Keith Hennick said, I'll try to put up with you today. I don't know about me today, Keith Hennick. I might go rogue on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers today. I might go off on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers today. I'm unsupervised. I don't know if I didn't take my medicine because it's sitting in my little thing on the seat of my car. I hope it's there when I get back. That's expensive meds. And I'm drinking coffee. So Keith Hawkins, Longhorn Keith, you might need to check in with me today, bro. I don't know how to handle. I got a double shot of espresso in my coffee today. And at 12:13, I'm still drinking it. Let me take a break. I'll be right back. I told you. I'll be right back after this on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
Hello, this is Claude Cummings Jr., Vice President of Communication Workers of America District 6. Trey and I are inviting you to listen in to our new political talk show, Power to the People Political Hour.
Hello, this is Trey Daniels from the Daniels Group. Yes, Claude, the show will be hard-hitting and informative, talking about national and local political issues of the day, week, and month. Interviews will be with pastors, community leaders, elected officials, and political operatives. You know, Claude, a part of our responsibility is informing the citizenry and give them power to the people.
That's right, Trey. We're asking that you listen in on 1140 AM, 92.3, or streaming on KYOKradio.org, Thursdays at 10 a.m.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
This is Tamara Fuentes.
And Teddy Stevens with Chosen Hoops.
And we're at KYOK at the lunch break with AJ Jones, the number one and only.
Yeah.
Hey, you should.
It's your boy Trey.
I'm trying. I really am trying. I'm trying. All eyes on me today, man. All eyes on me today. I didn't even bring in a special guest on Freestyle Friday today because I'm like, nah, dog, all eyes on me. All eyes on me. I'm going to try not to cut up too much, but I can't promise you nothing. So, let me bang the music a little bit. Listen, if you're listening on AM 1140, good afternoon. If you're listening on 92.3, good afternoon. You're listening on KYOKradio.org, good afternoon. Or if you're over in a foreign country, good evening or good morning. Because we got listeners from all around the world. And then if you're listening on Facebook on the Lunch Break Sports Talk Show page, hey, what up, though? You're listening on YouTube, Lunch Break with AJ. And if you're listening on Twitter, how y'all doing? I appreciate the love. I really do. I got a couple of brothers that have been like sharing the show and supporting, and I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. So now let me kill this music. All eyes on me. Kill this music. That's Valencia's theme song. I gotta stop it and just act right for a minute. Let me pull out some Ghetto Boys. It's a Ghetto Boys day for me. My mind must be playing tricks on me today. My mind must be playing tricks on me today. Keith Hennick's like, yo, get to it, bro. Keith Hennick said, nope, leave the Bucks alone. I might. To beat a man, you got to beat the man. Me beating up on Detroit is nothing. It's nothing. Me beating up on Detroit today would be nothing. But boy, if I knock them Patriots off, if I knock Tampa Bay off, I go after them. I'm doing something. Last night I couldn't sleep. I tossed and turned. Candlesticks in the dark. Other people's opinions being burned. Somebody told me that there was no beating the Brooklyn Nets. Somebody said, ain't no way the Brooklyn Nets were getting beat. Now, that's what y'all told me. Now, don't clam up now. Don't get shamed now. Brooklyn could not be beat. That's what they said. Brooklyn could not be. Brooklyn in 4. That's what I heard. Kevin Durant, best player in the world, best player in the NBA today. Okay. Brooklyn, it's their year. I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying he's not. But what I said was all Brooklyn did with those impressive blowout wins, biggest margin of, and I'm exaggerating, biggest margin of victory ever in NBA history ever. ever in the global world and in the universe, in the outer verse, in the solo verse, wherever there's a verse, this was the biggest blowout margins of victory ever, to the point where nobody ever thought they could ever win. Ever. Nobody. They beat, according to people, they beat Milwaukee like 299-2. Kevin Durant didn't miss a shot this year. Kyrie Irving thought the world was flat, so he went to one end of the world and flipped it over and walked back on the bottom part. Unbeatable. Unbeatable. You see what the score of the game was last night. Y'all bear with me a minute. It's I Told You So, Freestyle Friday. Last night, Thursday. Oh, they must have got the score wrong on my stuff. Over here on my stuff, somebody did a typo on my stuff. Because on my stuff, it says Milwaukee 86, and wait for it, somebody did a typo and it says Brooklyn 83. What happened? Tried to tell y'all, I told you. You do not start the next game down 49-0. Oh, Brooklyn was up by 49. Oh, my God. It's the biggest beatdown in NBA history. Uh-huh. Well, guess what? Next game is going to be 0-0. And these are professionals. They do have Giannis Antetokounmpo, two-time league MVP. He was two-time league MVP, right? It's my story. I can say whatever I want to say. Two-time league MVP. I got some other cats over there that can ball. It ain't pretty. They ain't flashy. It's like the kids from other side of the track. They got on some chucks that they had to tape together and tie them up, and their uniforms don't match, and their mama's in the stands with the milk jugs and the rocks and the coins in them, and they just, that's my baby! And all the really, nice, fine parents are on the other side. Oh, yes, go Brooklyn. Go Brooklyn. And the poor little Milwaukee cheering just out there trying to ball. They just glad to be there. And what happened? 86-83. Brooklyn lost. How'd that happen? Oh, I know, they must have cheated. The refs, right? The refs stole the game from No. It wasn't the refs, AJ. See, what you got to understand, because I'm real woke and 5G was causing corona, and if you watch the X-Files back in the day, you know that the dude that smoked all the time, it was in the dark, they controlled the NBA. So what had happened was, oh boy, Deep Throat called and said, make Brooklyn lose, so that them people still pay their money. It's all about the dollars, AJ. So what happened was they wanted to not sweep it in 4. They're going to let it go to 5, 6, or 7 so they can make that money. TV contracts are already paid out, by the way. The TV contracts are not paid out. They're not sitting in a back room counting up money. One for you, one for me, one for you. How much we say? Okay, he'll go extra 300. The TV money is already paid out. So that argument of, it's all about the money, more advertisers, it's already paid out. So the NBA didn't rig it. The refs didn't steal it. Kevin Durant certainly didn't throw it. If there was such a thing as throwing a basketball, the one dude you won't tell is Kevin Durant, because he'll get on one of his burner accounts and he'll tell it, and he'll speak about himself as if he's really Kevin Durant, because he doesn't understand the whole burner account process. So what could it possibly have been? An overreaction, maybe? Could it possibly have been we were wrong? Could it possibly have been that's why they play the games? Could it possibly have been while the wins were impressive, it was just one win in game 1, one win in game 2, and then, oh, by the way, they got to game 3 and they didn't win? I probably should take a break because I'm cutting up, ain't I? Where's Tavonda Brown when I need her? Where's Donna Coleman Holman when I need? Am I cutting up? All right, let me take a break. Let me go get a hold to myself. Let CJ help me out. CJ, tell me to say, AJ, hush. You better act right. You better get a hold to you. My grandmother used to say, you better get a hold to yourself. I didn't know what that meant, but I'm going to go figure that out. I'll take a break. I'll get a hold to myself, and I'll be right back on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK. If you want to get in and hear me say I told you so, please do. 281-453-1000. That's 281-453-1000. Or text me, 832-403-5005, or email aj@kyoksports.com. Hashtag you were right.
This is Claude Cummings Jr., Vice President of CWA District 6, representing over 30,000 union members in Texas, asking you to please cast your vote for Kim Yancey for Lamarck City Council District 8. I've known Kim to be a hard-working community activist who is responsive to the needs of the community, and as a city council member will work hard to improve the lives of all residents of Lamarck. Early voting is taking place June 7th through June 15th, and Election Day is June 19th. Please cast your vote for Kim Yancey for City Council District 8.
Paid for by the Texas for Working Families.
Tune in to Table Talk with your boy, TD Blackshear, every Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. on the legendary KYOK 1140 a.m. and 92.3 FM. See you there.
In need of tires? Check out OMG Tire Services and more. New and used tires, all the name brands you desire. Located at 3126 Tidwell, between 59 North and Jensen. Give them a call at 832-767-3211. Top-notch service from beginning to end. When you're done, get your car hand-washed inside and out at OMG Tire Services and more. Located at 3126 Tidwell, between 59 North and Jensen. Call 832-767-3211. That's 832-767-3211. Conveniently located on the north side.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Two radio stations in one.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. You've got to remember to do your testing, and you always need to be sticking your fingers. The new way to live your life with diabetes is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body, and it continuously monitors your glucose levels, helping you spend more time in range and freeing you from painful finger pricks. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day, or use an insulin pump,
we have a
private
contestant.
insurance or
We have a
Medicare,
contestant.
you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call U.S. Medical Supply today for a free benefits check. We offer free shipping, 90-day supplies, and we bill Medicare or your insurance directly. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-633-1378. 800-633-1378. 800-633-1378. That's 800-633-1378.
Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the So Christian and Me Show right here on the legendary KYOK Radio 1140 AM and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
Hey guys, this is your girl Brandy Nelson, and you are listening to The Lunch Break on KYOK.
I'm probably gonna play that song the whole day. I'm probably gonna play. My mind is playing tricks on me all day. Probably. It's the Lunch Break Sports Talk Show here on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM, streaming live on KYOKradio.org. Check us out on Facebook, Lunch Break Sports Talk Show page, KYOK radio station page, YouTube, The Lunch Break with AJ, Twitter, at Lunch Break KYOK. Got a shout out to Larry Scott and Natasha Marie and Denise Scott and the rest of the crew. They've got a very powerful show coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow's show is going to be about how to remove criminal records from your record. So if you had some problems back when you were a young person and that those things are still on your record, there'll be a guest on tomorrow that's going to talk about how to remove that off of your record. So I strongly encourage you to tune in to the Not So Christian in Me show tomorrow from 1 to 2, right here on the legendary KYOK, AM 1140, 92.3 FM, or streaming live on kyokradio.org. You know, it might not be you. Maybe it's your son, daughter, niece, nephew, grandchild. You know, maybe it's your husband or wife or sister or brother, uncle, aunt, whoever it is. They're going to have powerful information. I told them that show right there is going to bless a lot of people. Because a lot of people do, you know, hey, some people when they were young, they weren't perfect like some of the, you know, some of y'all. They got in some problems, trouble, did some dumb stuff. And it's on their record. And it might have been sealed. They ain't done nothing since. 30 years later, that's still following them, and they're affecting their jobs, ability to get a place to live, and insurance and stuff like that. And there's going to be a guest on tomorrow to talk about how to remove that. And I'm excited about it. So y'all tune into that, all right? Okay. Now, I got the seriousness out of the way. Hold on. Let me do this one. Let me do this one. Hold on. Let me clear my throat. As I was saying before the break, Brooklyn fans, we got a contestant. We have a contestant. CC sent me an email at AJ at KYOKsports.com, and he said, AJ, first of all Milwaukee did was delay the inevitable. 4-1 Brooklyn. Write it down. Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Wait. Where it go? Where? CC. We're not revising. We're not revising our predictions. No, sir. No, sir. We're not revising our predictions, my brother. I wish you well. I don't know if CC's a guy or a girl. We're not revising our predictions. I said that Milwaukee was not going to get swept. They didn't. I said they were not going to lose 4-1. I still stand by that. I don't think they're going to lose 4-2. I'm not saying they're going to win the series, but it ain't going to be the walkover everyone thinks it's going to be. That's what I said. Now, I don't know you, CC. I don't know if you called in or anything like that. Text me, hit me up. I love you, first of all. Thank you for the support. You all right with me. But don't be trying to revise your prediction. Don't be trying. They didn't sweep them. Just let's just say, AJ, you were right. Somebody say, AJ, you're right. Somebody call up. I'm going to give you a family 4-pack. I'm going to give you a family 4-pack to the Houston Children's Museum. If you call up, just say, AJ, you were right. I told you so. I told you so. AJ, you told us. 281-453-1000. You get a family 4-pack to the Children's Museum in Houston if you say, AJ, you told us so. That's wrong. I know. Good Kermit is on one shoulder saying, don't do that. Don't do that. Just take the right caller. Bad Kermit is saying, do it. Do it. Make them call you and say you were right or you told them so. Come on. Help me. I'm struggling here. I'm not right often. And when I am, I just got to call it out. I told y'all Kevin Durant wasn't going to shoot 1,000% from the field forever. I told y'all that. Kevin Durant, last night, 11 for 28. Quick math. That's bad. I mean, yeah, he got 30 points, but he took 28 shots to get 30 points. Oh, yeah, by the way, and he made 3 threes. That's not a proficient night. Yeah, he had 11 rebounds, 5 assists. But I told y'all, Durant and them were not going to shoot lights out forever. Kyrie Irving, 9 for 22. Joe Harris, you remember the X Factor? 1 for 11. Only dude I'm really worried about is Brown. Brown is like, where he come from? Check his birth certificate. He might be a little too old. Joe Brown was 8 for 17, still under 50%. And Blake Griffin was off, 2 for 5. As a team, Brooklyn shot 36% from the field. As a team, Brooklyn shot 25% from three-point land. And watch this. And they lost to a team that shot 19% from three-point land. Things have a way of normalizing. I'm not saying Milwaukee outplayed Brooklyn. I'm saying Milwaukee held on and did enough to win. And that's all that counts. There's not an extra category or incentive for blowout wins. This is not college football where you have to have a stylish win to impress the voters. It's pro basketball. Win and lose. That's it. That's only 2 categories. There's no ties. There's no blowout win category. There's no barely won category. Wins and losses. And on this one, Milwaukee did enough to win. Shot, again, 38% from the field, 19% from three-point line. But, they increased their free throw percentage. 63% from the line, up from 40-something% the game before. 12 for 19. 7 points that they didn't pick up from the free throw line, whereas Brooklyn only missed 1. This would be a whole different series if Milwaukee was hitting free throws. But I told you there was going to be a player that was going to step up. His name, Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton, just under 50%, 12 for 25, had 35 points, 15 rebounds, was 3 for 6 from the field, but most importantly, he was 8 for 9 from the free throw line. Chris Middleton is like the dude that nobody knew, but they let him pledge Kappa because he had a real high GPA. It's like, yeah, we don't know you, but what's your GPA again? You 8 for 9 from the line? Yeah, you on the line. You on. We gonna pledge you. Come on in. I mean, Chris Middleton showed up. I told y'all he wasn't going to stay lost all series long. Giannis didn't have a great game. 14 for 31 for Giannis, 33 points. He was in that. Him and Kevin Durant canceled each other out. Kevin Durant took a bunch of shots, 28 to score 30 points. Giannis, 31 shots to score 33. But Chris Middleton stepping up. They got 9 from Holiday, who had a horrendous night. And they played better defense, and Brooklyn had an off night. So all of that equated to the unbeatable Brooklyn losing to the desperately needed a win Milwaukee. Now, what happens from here? What happens from here is as simple as this. Milwaukee's got to do it again. Milwaukee's got to do it again. Game 4 is going to be Sunday afternoon. I think it's an ABC national network game. 2 o'clock. Milwaukee's got to find a way to do it again. It doesn't have to be pretty. Doesn't have to be exceptional. Doesn't have to have highlights and all that. At the end of the game, Milwaukee's got to have one more point than Brooklyn. And then what happens? It's a tied series heading back to Brooklyn. It's that simple, folks. It's that simple. It's that simple. Again, I could take that same approach right now. I could take that same approach right now with Utah. I could be going on and on and on about Donovan Mitchell. Oh my God, he's unstoppable. Donovan Mitchell, 45 points in game 1, 37 in game 2. I don't know if Donovan Mitchell's going to go out for, 35 plus in game 3. I know they beat the Clippers 117 to 111. I know they're up 2 games to none, but I also know that the series is shifting now to LA, where Kawhi and Paul George and the rest of the fellows tend to play better. We'll be talking about something significant if Utah wins game 3. Now they're up 3-0. But right now they've just done what they're supposed to do. They were supposed to defend their home court. That's why the seedings in the playoffs matter. You want that home court advantage to start your series with the other team, because that means both of the first 2 games are going to be on your court. You earn that by having the higher seed. So now they've got to come to you for games 1 and game 2, and then they might have to figure out how to come back from an 0-2 deficit. How do they do that? They win game 3, they win game 4, and then now you got to try and find a way to either win a game on their court to close it out or win all the games at home to close it out. That's the whole benefit of having the higher seed. That's why a few years ago, when the Rockets were the number 1 seed in the NBA, it was like, oh man, if the Rockets are going to finally get back to the finals, this is the year, because they would have the home court advantage all the way throughout the playoffs. And what happened? They stumbled in the Western Conference Finals against the Golden State Warriors. So we'll never know what could have happened with that one. We'll never know. All right, I got to get ready to take a break. We'll do it now. 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000, or text me 832-403-5005. That's 832-403-5005. And I was just kidding. Seriously, I am going to give away a family 4-pack to the Children's Museum of Houston and a barbecue sandwich from Dickey's Barbecue Pit. All right, we'll be right back right after this on the lunch break. It is Freestyle Friday.
You're listening to
1140 AM and 92.3 FM, the legendary KYOK.
If your loved one has passed away due to COVID-19, pay close attention to this message. You could be entitled to a death benefit of over $300,000. The U.S. government has set up a fund to pay families relief if they've lost a loved one due to COVID-19. We know this is a hard time for you, and this fund has been set up by the federal government to help ease your pain. The compensation includes a death benefit and lost wages benefit. Time is limited, so we urge you to make a free phone call right now. There's no cost to you for this claim. All legal fees are only covered once you receive your money. So if you've lost a loved one due to COVID-19, call the legal helpline right now to find out if you qualify for a cash award. Here's our number: 800-876-7047. 800-876-7047. 800-876-7047. That's 800-876-7047. Paid for by the IPG Law Group.
Hi, this is Rian Newborn.
This is Tamara Fuentes.
Teddy Stevens with Chosen Hoops.
And we're at KYOK at the lunch break with AJ Jones, the number 1 and only.
Yeah.
Hey!
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break. Big shout out to Rian Newborn, pro tennis player. Got to have her back in studio. Teddy Stevens, Tamara Fuentes. Man, I'm telling you, you want to get with somebody to have your young person work on their basketball skills. Got to get them connected with Teddy Stevens. And man, if you're trying to get back in shape and lose some of that COVID weight, Tamara Fuentes. I'm telling that crew right there can get it going for the whole family. Love them. All right, y'all. Listen, let's do this. We'll get back into the we'll get back into the basketball playoffs in just a minute because I want to talk about Utah for a minute. I want to talk about Utah for a minute, and I also want to talk about Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers. Paul George is taking he is getting killed. I mean, people are really beating up on Paul George almost like it's personal, and I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that. But anyway, let me do this. People have really been on me about these birthdays, and I love it. I love it. So if you know somebody celebrating a birthday, hit me up right now, 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000, or email me at KYOK, AJ at KYOKsports.com, AJ at KYOKsports.com, or text me, 832-403-5005, 832-403-5005 if you know somebody celebrating a birthday, either today or over the weekend. Today or over the weekend, give me those birthdays right now because we're going to do those next, okay? Get those to me right now. We're going to do those next. And I think I got my guys set up to just celebrate those birthdays. And I want to start giving the birthday people something. So again, 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000, or text 832-403-5005, or email AJ at KYOKsports.com. If you're on social media, just put it on the social media stream and it'll pop up and I'll shout that name out from there. All right? All right. Real quick. Man, Utah, pretty solid. Utah is very solid. You know, while everybody's going on and on and on about Brooklyn, let me give you a couple of stats about Utah. Utah shot 55% from the field. They made 42 of 76 shots. 55% from the field. And you talk about being hot from three. They shot 51% from three-point land, and they took 39 threes. It's hard to beat a team like that. But the Clippers were only lost by 6. You got a team that's red hot like that, and they don't blow a team out by 20, 25? The Clippers are not as bad as people think. They're just not as flashy and as exciting as folks want them to be. Let me go to the phone line real quick. Hello, you're live on a lunch break. Who's this?
This is Quintine. I'm trying to win the tickets to the Children's Museum.
Okay, you know how you win them, right?
Don't you call in?
Yeah, you call in, but what do you got to say, though?
KYOK, the lunch break?
Oh, that's cool. That's really all you have to say. But, you know, if you wanted to say, AJ, you told us so, you know, that would be good too. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to. You don't have to.
AJ, you told us. We didn't listen, but you told us.
What you say?
What
you say? I'm sorry, I must have been trying to talk over you. Say it again for me real quick.
AJ, you told us so. So we didn't listen. But you told us.
Clintine, let me tell you something. You're going to make me just shut down the show. You're going to make me just shut down the show. Ain't nothing else. I might as well just wrap this one up. It won't get no better than this. And it's all courtesy of you.
Well, thank you.
So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you this family 4-pack to the Children's Museum. That's good for you and 3 other folks. You getting that plus I'm throwing in a Dickey's free classic barbecue sandwich, courtesy of Dickey's Barbecue Pit. And when you go to get your sandwich, be sure to look at the other stuff because they got ribs, they got sausage, they got chopped beef, brisket, they got it all. And don't sleep on the sides now. Don't sleep on the sides because their baked beans are good. Their green beans are good. That I don't eat everybody's potato salad, but Dickie's barbecue potato salad, I rocks with that. Do you hear me? I rocks with that. And listen, hear me out. Just like I told you so about Milwaukee, I'm telling you so about Dickie's, okay?
And I believe you because you were right about Milwaukee.
Okay, well, you know what? I sure appreciate you. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? This is because I know people trying to get in with these birthdays and stuff. I'm going to put them on hold. I'm going to put everybody on hold, put on some music. We put on some music, and then I'm going to get your information so I can make sure you get your tickets to the Children's Museum and your barbecue chicken sandwich. I mean, barbecue brisket sandwich, okay?
Sounds good to me.
All right, stay right there. Man, Clintine just called in, and let me tell you something, my friend. She said some good stuff. She said some good. I thought I heard her say, AJ, you told us, but we didn't listen. That's what I thought I heard her say. So anyway, let me play some music. I'll be right back. I got to get her information so I can get her stuff on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK. Hello. Try to keep you holding. Give me a good telephone number for me. Let's try the first thing for me. Okay, last. Okay. Okay, I'm going to follow up with you after the show and let you know how we get your tickets and the free barbecue sandwich too as well. No, thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for listening, okay? All right, bye-bye. Man, I'm telling you, it don't get no better than that. Let me clear my throat. Clentine Wright just picked up a family 4-pack to the Children's Museum, Houston, and she got a free classic barbecue sandwich from Dickie's Barbecue Pit. Let me hold them up so all the folks checking us out on social media can see them. And I'm telling you, Dickie's has it going on. So we are glad to make her a winner right here on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM on the lunch break. See, you know what? I told you, I wasn't going to be too hard to put up with today. Wasn't going to be too hard to put up with today. All right. So, again, get your birthdays in. I'm going to do those in just a few minutes. Let me go back to Utah for a second. Utah shot over 55% from the field, over 50% from the three-point land. But watch this. They, too, had some free throw problems. They shot 62% while the Clippers shot 87%. But what they did was they out-rebounded LA 50-40. And they turned the ball over more, but not extensively. 14 turnovers to 11. And, you know, that didn't kill them. That's probably what kept them from spreading the lead out more, because the Clippers had 16 points off a turnover while the Utah Jazz only had 8. So, you know, Utah is not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. They just got to clean up some things. And again, like I said about Milwaukee, they did enough to get the win. But on the other side, Kawhi Leonard, 21 points on 8 of 17 shooting. Paul George, 27 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists. He was 8 for 18. I mean, it's not over 50%, but it's not 25. It's not 30. He got off to a slow start and ended up being the high man on the, Reggie Jackson at 29, ended up being one of your top scorers. I think people see Paul George going 2 for 6 from 3 and just swear, oh, man, he's killing us. Kevin Durant didn't shoot exceptionally well from three. Nobody was on social media talking about how KD killed him. Paul George has slid into that category of overrated and doesn't come through in the playoffs and all of that. I mean, there's not a lot of guys that can carry the whole team in the league. Dame Dollar went off for what, 60 and lost? I'm just saying, man, I feel like Paul George gets eviscerated unjustly. Again, there's no style points. You know, may rest in peace. Mark Eaton just passed away not too long ago. Long time big man for the Utah Jazz. There was nothing pretty about Mark Eaton, physically or, professionally. Nothing pretty about it. But he helped Utah be in the conversation in the Western Conference year after year after year. You don't have to be the flashiest one. You don't have to be the highlight reel. Dominique Wilkins was the human highlight reel. How many chips does Dominique Wilkins have? I'll wait. I'll wait for you to find all none of them. Nobody's talking about Dominique Wilkins in a negative way. I mean, bless his heart, the man just had a racial bias, situation at a restaurant in Buckhead. Wasn't dressed right, apparently. Now, mind you, there were other people in there that were dressed a similar way, but he couldn't get in. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Let me take a break. Let me get Sybil Wilkes on here with our What You Need to Know. And when we come back, we'll do those birthdays I've been promising you. So here's Sybil Wilkes right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
It's Sybil Wilkes with What You Need to Know. Confirming an independent family examination, the North Carolina State Autopsy Report has confirmed Andrew Brown Jr. died from a penetrating gunshot wound to the head. The unarmed African-American man was killed April 21st by Pasquotank County Sheriff's deputies as they sought to serve an arrest warrant. No charges were filed by the local district attorney, who stated the deputies were justified in shooting Brown. Brown family attorneys continue to press for more answers and the full release of all body camera video. Last year, the U.S. saw substantial increases in the death rates for heart disease, diabetes, and some other common killers. Health experts believe the deaths resulted from people choosing to skip the important doctor's appointments for fear of catching COVID-19. The data released for the deadliest year in U.S. history shows the biggest increases in the death rates for heart disease and diabetes in at least 20 years. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.
I'm Ben Tankett, and you are listening to The Lunch Break.
All right, y'all, back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM. We stream live on the World Wide Web, kyokradio.org. You can also check us out on social media. The Lunch Break Sports Talk Show Facebook page, KYOK Radio Facebook page, and on YouTube, The Lunch Break with AJ. Be sure and go there and subscribe. The Lunch Break with AJ. Click subscribe on there. I want to get the subscriber total up. And then same thing on Twitter, at LunchBreakKYOK, at LunchBreakKYOK. Be sure and follow me there. You follow me, I follow back. Big shout out to Kev, the producer. All right, so let's do this. I got to do the birthdays. A lot of birthdays today. Yes. All right, so let me get to these birthdays. It's your birthday. Brandy Garrett celebrating her birthday. She was just recently on the Not So Christian in Me show. Stacy Briscoe celebrating her birthday today. Derek McWilliams Sr. celebrating his birthday. That's a good Omega, good brother. Got to get his son back on the show. And then Diane Eugenia Wright Greggs is celebrating a birthday. Justin Gilmore turned 32 today. Chantilly Jones-Jackson, what's up, fam? Celebrating a birthday today. Lucy Thaw celebrating her birthday, along with Vivian Swinson. Percival Gibbs, longtime listener of KWWJ, KYOK. Hey, Percival Gibbs celebrating her birthday. Septima Smith celebrating her birthday, along with Nadine Allen. Man, Judge Nadine Allen, happy birthday to you. Longtime friend of mine. Tell you what, good people right there. Keith Benton is celebrating his birthday. Big HBCU brother. Pauline celebrating a birthday along with Will Rico. That's my cousin, y'all. That's my cousin. Good dude out there in California making things happen. And then Coy Hermonique, one of the best in the model, fashion, entrepreneur business. She's good people as well. All right, real quick, let me get this on. Can I do it? I got time. Something tells me I'm gonna run out of time. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hit the top of the hour, and then we will come back with Usher right after this on the lunch break.
1140 AM, KYOK Conroe, and 92.3 FM, K222CX Houston.
50 over 50 years.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the host, guests, and callers, who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
When you walk out on that field today, ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! I'm going to the house! I'm going to the house! When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We ready? I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up with chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from him. He's a man. They can be a hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. I'm glad when you step on the field, man. That's war out there. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. You had no work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We ready? I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
Now, that's just the first hour on the books, second hour underway here on the legendary KYOK. It is our Freestyle Friday. It is an I Told You So edition of Freestyle Friday because, I don't know, I'll try to tell a couple of people. Where's the greatest today? The greatest ain't called me today. He hadn't called me today. He was one of them. I told you, don't write the Brooklyn Nets into the finals just yet. Don't write them in just yet. In the words of Dennis Green, late great Dennis Green, longtime NFL head coach, former head coach of the Stanford Cardinal, they were who we thought they were. You want to crown them? Crown them. So just not so fast. Slow down. Let them play the series out. If Brooklyn wins Game 4 and they go home 3-1, we're talking about something. But right now, it's 2-1. Brooklyn did what they were supposed to do. Milwaukee did what they were supposed to do. Utah, same thing. Up 2-0. The series is about to shift over to LA, and that game will be tomorrow evening, 7:30 Central. LA has a chance to defend their home court. Somebody sent me a message. I want to talk about it. But before I do all of that, let me get to this birthday song for everyone celebrating their birthdays. We have quite a bit of them, because we're doing birthdays for today and over the weekend. So happy birthday to you all. This one is for you.
Oh, go shorty, it's your birthday. Ooh, it's your birthday. Go shorty, it's your birthday. Today's your day. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, y'all. Everybody celebrating birthdays today. Everybody celebrating birthdays over the weekend. If you still need to get one in, you got time. 281-453-1000. 281-453-1000. Give me those birthdays. I want to celebrate with you. All right. Real quick. RP said, AJ, I'm feeling what you're feeling. I just had that conversation with one of my homies talking about Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Look at the night that Kawhi Leonard had. Look at the night that Paul George had. Why is Paul George the one getting killed? Again, good point. Let me go back to those box scores real quick. Can we do that? All right. So let's look at the Clippers. Let's look at the box score for the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard, 21 points on 8 for 17 shooting. Paul George, 27 points, 10 rebounds on 8 for 18. Very similar percentages. Paul George had more points and more rebounds. Why is he catching all the flack? It's almost like people say, oh, well, Kawhi Leonard had an off night, but Paul George, oh my God, he's killing us. I mean, we won't be able to win this series with Paul George in there. It's playoff Paul again. Really? Without his 27, where do you go from there? Nobody else other than Reggie Jackson had more than 9. I'm sorry, more than 8. Marcus Morris had 8, 10, and 3. Zubac had 7, nothing and nothing. Batum had 7, 3, and 2. Cousins had 6 and 4. Kennard had 3, nothing and nothing. Mann had 0, 0, and 0. And I'm sorry, Pat Beverly, the pit bull, had 3, 3, and 1. 0 for 5 from the field. That was Paul George's fault? Hey, Desiree Battles, long time. Desiree, you came in on the wrong time. I'm cutting up today, Desiree. Desiree, I'm cutting up today because it's an I Told You So Freestyle Friday. Congratulations, Clintine Wright picked up tickets to the Children's Museum Houston and a free Dickey's barbecue sandwich. So, I don't know, man. I just do this. Lunch breakers. I'm just talking to the lunch breakers. If you're tuned in and you're a sports fan, but you're not a lunch breaker, hold on. Let me talk to the lunch breakers. Be educated fans. Be educated fans where you just don't go along with somebody else's presentation of the facts, including mine. Study it for yourself and see, when I look at it that way, it doesn't make sense that it's Paul George's fault. Everybody had an off night. You only had 3 people scoring double figures in a playoff game where you needed everybody to score. You needed everybody to contribute. For some reason, the national opinion is Paul George is underproducing and is the problem. And they paid way too much money for Paul George. The other night when he had 17 points, they paid $190 million for 17 points. No, they paid all that money for all the points he got last night. His entire body of work. You go over to Utah, and again, you see the difference, balanced scoring. You got all your production from 3 players with the Clippers, including Paul George. Over on the Utah side, 37 from Mitchell. You got 24 off the bench from Clarkson. You got 19 from Ingles. You got 16 from Bogdanovich. and you got 13 and 20 rebounds from Rudy Gobert, as well as 3 block shots from the defensive player of the year. It is not Paul George's assignment to take on all of those players by himself. It's not Kawhi Leonard's. It's a team effort. Somebody come to me with the Paul George, conversation today. It's like, yeah, Paul George had one of his, better games, but the whole team struggled. Nobody other than Kawhi, Jackson, and George scored over 8 points. Can't win like that. Can't win like that. I think the Clippers bounce back in game 3. I really do. I think the Clippers bounce back from some home cooking. Game 3, I think they get one. Now, I don't know if they're going to be able to go 4-2 or 4-3, but I don't think they get swept either. And as I said, at the end of the season, whenever it's over, for the LA Clippers, hey, Ty, do me a favor. Go ahead and go, and we'll talk to you later. I'll call you. Good job. Thanks for getting us to the second round or third round, however far they go. And then you get in that locker room. You don't leave. None of y'all, none of the players leave. General manager, come here. I need you in here. I'm Steve Ballmer. I'm the owner. General manager, you come on in here. I lock the door. And you have it out. You get into some lives. What is going on with your life? Y'all said Doc was the problem. Clearly he wasn't. What's happening? General manager, you put this team together. What are we missing? You got to have that conversation with the LA Clippers, and it's not Paul George's fault. Got to take a break. We'll be right back with more right after this on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM.
Hello, this is Claude Cummings Jr., Vice President of Communication Workers of America District 6. Trey and I are inviting you to listen in to our new political talk show, Power to the People Political Hour.
Hello, this is Trey Daniels from the Daniels Group. Yes, Claude, the show will be hard-hitting and informative, talking about national and local political issues of the day, week, and month. Interviews will be with pastors, community leaders, elected officials, and political operatives. Claude, a part of our responsibility is informing the citizenry and give them power to the people.
That's right, Trey. We're asking that you listen in on 1140 AM, 92.3, or streaming on KYOKradio.org, Thursdays at 10 a.m.
Give the people what they want.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
This is Brian Courtney Wilson, and you're listening to The Lunch Break.
If I'm the Clippers, I'm bumping this. I'm bumping this during the shoot-around. Man, I'm telling you, tomorrow, 7:30 Central, 5:30 on the West Coast. When they come into the Staples Center, I want to make it shake. Come on. Shake, baby, shake it. Shake it for me. Hey, you got to do something, man. You got to shift that momentum. Listen, them fellas from Utah don't know nothing about that. Let them feel that arena shaking. Let them know they're going to have to bring it. We're not giving it to you. You're going to have to bring it. So, anyway, Clippers down 2-0. They'll go home tomorrow night, 7:30 Central, 5:30 on the West Coast, and try and win game 3. All right. Somebody sent me something, and I wanted to reply to it. Somebody sent me something, and I wanted to reply to it. Oh, okay. AJ, biggest surprise in the playoffs this year, biggest disappointment. Let me see. Whole playoff, first round, or where we are right now? Whole playoff, first round, or where we are right now? Let me see. I think my biggest disappointment definitely was Miami. If we're talking about the whole playoffs, biggest disappointment was definitely Miami. Miami, as exciting as they looked last year, and Jimmy Butler on the whole "this a business" trip, they looked anything but that this year. Where was Tyler Hero this year? Where was Robinson this year? Where were all these other players to go along with Bam Adebayo? Like, rarely showed up in the playoffs. I thought Bam was going to take that next step to be that stretch 4, 5, you name it, the do-all, be-all. That was probably my biggest disappointment in the playoffs. The Lakers, not so much because of injury. I mean, you can say what you want to say about, LeBron James overrated and, actor and blah, 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 blah. He was injured. Anthony Davis obviously couldn't go, and that team needs some help. In fact, there's a report that Rob Pelinka has been given the authority to spend smartly. Should be wisely, but, the writer did what I guess they quoted Pelinka. They've got 6 players under contract, so they've got the ability to go out and either move them around. I mean, move the unrestricted free agents around, and I think they got a couple of restricted guys, and then Montrezl Harrell has a player option. If I'm Montrez and I got a player option, I'm coming back. I'm opting in. But man, move some of that money off the books and make a run for somebody. I think Chris Paul is talking about not taking. He's owed like $40 some odd million next year. He's talking about opting out of that. Okay. All right. Let's see. There's going to be some players out there. And the Lakers are one of those teams that does not have to go through a complete rebuild. You pull in the right pieces, and there you go. I think Rob Pelinka's still on the list. That's one of my disappointments as well. Rob Pelinka's decisions at the end of last year disappointed me in the playoffs. Not LeBron, not Anthony Davis, not Marcus Gasol, not Andre Drummond. None of them disappointed. Rob Pelinka's decisions at the end of last year, letting go of Dwight Howard, letting go of Rajon Rondo, and others. And I even go back to, again, keeping Kyle Kuzma and letting Brandon Ingram go. I mean, I know that the Lakers wanted Anthony Davis, but watch this. They could have waited on Anthony Davis and allowed him to opt out and come to LA. Pelinka did not have to give up all that he gave up to get Anthony Davis. Obviously, he had to make room to make the money work. But that was, that definitely goes under my most disappointing. Biggest surprise got to be the Phoenix Suns. Everybody's raving about Brooklyn, but you knew Brooklyn was going to be good if Kawhi was, if Durant was healthy and Kyrie Irving was healthy. Just the fact that those two players chose Brooklyn to go and, make their run for it, you knew they were going to be good. I mean, who knew how good Harris was, and who knew that James Harden was going to go there? Remember, y'all all said that the James Harden experiment wasn't going to work, and there's not enough balls to go around, and everybody sent the clips around with, one guy just dribbling the ball for 50 seconds, and then he throws it over to somebody else, and they dribble it for 59 seconds, and then they throw it over to Kevin Durant, and he just looks at it. I mean, it worked out pretty good, I think. So that's not a surprise, and it's not a disappointment. For me, biggest surprise in the playoffs on a positive is Phoenix. I hear some of my colleagues saying that they're sick and tired of hearing the Chris Paul is a leader, discussion. Okay. Chris Paul on that team is pretty good. Chris Paul helps make that team pretty good. I didn't say he was a leader. I'm just saying whatever his chemistry is, whatever his skill set is, the other day, 17 points, 15 assists, 0 turnovers. Yeah, that in my business, we say that'll preach. That will preach. I like what Monty Williams has done. I like what that front office has constructed. Man, DA, how many of y'all expected to see out of DA what you're seeing out of him right now. I'm talking about the big man, 8. How many of you expected him to be a double-double machine? And oh yeah, by the way, he's going up against some pretty decent centers in the league. Not so much with the Lakers, when he wasn't playing against Anthony Davis, but going up against Rudy Gobert right now. I mean, I'm not Rudy Gobert. He's going up against the Joker right now, and he's getting his. He's getting his. Denver's got some veteran presence. They've got some young up-and-comers. They got a pretty well-constructed team. Big surprise, good surprise. Donovan Mitchell has been a pleasant surprise. Definitely has been a pleasant surprise. Over in the East, again, I'm not minimizing. Brooklyn is definitely a surprise, but, again, when I look at Harris, that's a surprise. When I look at Brown filling in for James Harden, dude's holding his own. Joel Embiid looks like he's coming to his own. That's a pretty good surprise. Still looking for a little bit more from Ben Simmons. Somewhat of a disappointment. Tobias Harris has had spots. Atlanta, yeah, definitely. Biggest surprise in the West, Phoenix. Biggest surprise in the East, Atlanta. There you go. To the point where I want to see an Atlanta-Phoenix final. Let me take a break. I'll be back. I told y'all.
This is Claude Cummings Jr., Vice President of CWA District 6, representing over 30,000 union members in Texas, asking you to please cast your vote for Kim Yancey for Lamarck City Council District 8. I've known Kim to be a hard-working community activist who is responsive to the needs of the community, and as a city council member, will work hard to improve the lives of all residents of Lamarck. Early voting is taking place June 7th through June 15th, and Election Day is June 19th. Please cast your vote for Kim Yancey for City Council District 8.
Paid for by the Texas for Working Families.
Tune in to Table Talk with your boy, TD Blackshear, every Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. on the legendary KYOK 1140 a.m. and 92.3 FM. See you there.
In need of tires? Check out OMG Tire Services and more. New and used tires, all the name brands you desire. Located at 3126 Tidwell, between 59 North and Jensen. Give them a call at 832-767-3211. Top-notch service from beginning to end. When you're done, get your car hand-washed inside and out at OMG Tire Services and more. Located at 3126 Tidwell, between 59 North and Jensen. Call 832-767-3211. That's 832-767-3211. Conveniently located on the north side.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Two radio stations in one.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. You've got to remember to do your testing, and you always need to be sticking your fingers. The new way to live your life with diabetes is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body, and it continuously monitors your glucose levels, helping you spend more time in range and freeing you from painful finger pricks. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day, or use an insulin pump and have private insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call U.S. Medical Supply today for a free benefits check. We offer free shipping, 90-day supplies, and we bill Medicare or your insurance directly. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-633-1378. 800-633-1378. 800-633-1378. That's 800-633-1378.
Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
This is Brian Courtney Wilson, and you're listening to The Lunch Break.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM, streaming live, KYOKradio.org, and streaming on social media. Lunch Break Sports excuse me, the Lunch Break Sports Talk Show page on Facebook, KYOK radio station page on Facebook, on YouTube, the Lunch Break with AJ. The Lunch Break with AJ on YouTube. Please go there, subscribe. Got to get those up, like it. And then going over to Twitter, at Lunch Break KYOK. At Lunch Break KYOK. And when you go to Twitter, I want you to follow a young man. I want you to follow this young man. His handle is the voice of one ! At JEOLMOZ2. At JEOLMOZ2. Y'all do me a favor and follow him. And I'm serious. I want you to follow him. Good young man. He is one of the ones that has been sharing the show on Twitter. And even before we started, broadcasting on Twitter, I've been following him. Does some great work HBCU-wise. Just does some great work, sports-wise. Good young man. Good young man. Please do me a favor. Go over and follow him. Good dude. Again, at JEOLMOZ, the number 2. Y'all be sure and follow him, okay? And tell him thanks for the support for the lunch break, all right? And I mean it. Every single day when he shares the show, I send him some kind of, man, I appreciate you, because you don't have to do that. Doesn't have to do it, and we appreciate it. I appreciate you all when you take time out of your busy day to sit and interact with me and listen and what have you. I know I have y'all rolling your eyes and shaking your head sometimes, but just know that you're always greatly appreciated. Desiree Battles said, I see you cutting up big time. Yeah, I resemble that remark. I resemble that remark. All right, so let's get back to this. Oh, wow. Yeah, I gotta answer that one later. Okay, here's another person asking me about the comment I made about my biggest surprises. AJ, does it surprise you that Milwaukee's not playing better, or that Philly is having such a tough time with Atlanta? No, not so much, because, again, granted, with Philly, you've got two really smart coaches. You got two really smart coaches who know how to make in-game adjustments and in-between game adjustments. So from game 1 to 2, one of those really smart coaches is going to figure the other one out, or figure out a strategy that can, give them a little bit of an edge and pull out a win. And that's what we saw from game 1 to 2 with Philly coming back and winning game 2. But best believe Nate McMillan's going to have them boys ready to go to later on tonight. Atlanta's going to host Philly at 6:30 Central, and that series is tied at 1-1. I don't expect Atlanta to come out as tight as they did in game 2. So yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not beating up on Philly. Doc Rivers is still a really great coach. I think he's getting like the most out of Joel Embiid than we see. No shade on Brett Brown, but Doc Rivers is just different. I'm not even going to look back to the Clippers days. Doc Rivers is just different. Smart coach. He's got a team that, kind of respond to what he's saying and what he's putting in. And I think that this is going to be that's a series I can see going 7 games. And oh yeah, by the way, Trae Young's pretty good. And they've got some shooters with Gallinari and others on that team that can flat out shoot. So I'm not as like, oh man, I can't believe they haven't pulled away yet as other people are. Yeah. Bogdanovich. I get him confused with a couple of the other guys out there, but Bogdanovich, those guys get on. Gallinari and Bogdanovich, get hot. They can play with anybody. And oh yeah, by the way, I apologize. Clint Capella fits that offense great. They've got Clint doing a little bit more out there than D'Antoni had Capella doing when he was here. And then some kind of way they decided they wanted to go small, and he became expendable. He became expendable. So, I like Atlanta. I want to see Atlanta and Phoenix in the finals just because. A lot of reasons, but that's one I'd like to see. Okay? All right. I want to get on a little bit of the college football playoff if I can. The College Football Playoff Committee has recommended expanding from 4 teams, really 2, because it's always going to be Alabama and Clemson, but expanding from 4 teams all the way up to 12 teams, from 4 to 12. And what it basically means is that you'll have the 4 conference winners from the Big 12, Pac-12, SEC, and ACC, and they'll get a first-round bye. And then you'll have at-large bids competing to get up there to those top 4 teams. I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I like it other than maybe you get in some of the schools like Cincinnati had a great run last year. Central Florida had a great run a few years back. U of H had a great run, a few years back. Maybe you finally get one of those teams in the college football playoffs, but I feel like because of the way the rankings go, remember, this is all based on the college football playoffs rankings, that they're going to have the second-tier teams in the major conferences fill up most of those spots. So a 3-loss Iowa team that, oh gosh, they lost a close one to Ohio State. They lost on a last-second, field goal against Wisconsin, and they played an out-of-conference game against, Oklahoma, and they lost that. So now you got a 3-loss Iowa team in one of those 6 spots. Because they're in the top 12 now. They're in the top 12. Heaven forbid you get a 2-loss. You're already going to have a 2-loss Georgia team in there, but then you slide in a 3-loss Florida team in there. So now you got 3 teams from the SEC. You got 2 teams from the Big Ten. You're going to have 2 teams from the Big 12. And oh yeah, by the way, let's get Cincinnati in there. Let's get Notre Dame in there. Now you got that's your top 12. I just feel like it defeated the purpose of what it could have been. I just feel like they went about it the wrong way for the wrong reasons. And if I'm the group of 5, if I'm the Pac-12, because Pac-12 has been left out of it for how long now? I'm saying, listen, either y'all get this right or we're doing something else. Remember, this is not sanctioned by the NCAA. This is a group of investors that said, hey, man, as much money as you made with the national championship game, 1 versus 2, we can double that. We can triple that. We'll set up a committee, college football playoff committee, and we'll do what the computers couldn't do. And we'll add some human element and some eye test in there. and we'll get the top 4 teams in a playoff environment, and boom, you'll make tons of money. And they did. But the top 4 teams were always Alabama, Clemson, usually Oklahoma, usually Ohio State, and this year, this past year, it was what it was. Because, Notre Dame spoiled the party. Still no room for Washington. No room for Baylor when they were good. Remember when Baylor was good? TCU was good. Still no room for them to get in. But a lot of room for Alabama and Georgia. Remember the year Alabama didn't even win their conference. They didn't even win their state, but they won the national championship. If I'm the Big Ten, if I'm the Pac-12, you've already shown that you can go it on your own. Yeah, you got Nebraska. Oh, we're going to play any way we can. Yeah, you had the kids at Ohio State, signing petitions and all that kind of stuff. But if you are the Big 2 out of the Power 5 that say, hey, listen, we're not going to be beholden to Alabama and Clemson forever. We'll start our own playoff system that's more inclusive, that has matchups that people, more than just the Southern Hemisphere want to see. Because you got South Carolina and Alabama well represented in the playoffs. Guess what? More people in the country like college football. I'm just saying. It's time for some of these athletic directors and college presidents to step up and say, hey, listen, we're not beholden to you. You ain't the NCAA. Let me say it with my chest. You ain't the boss of me. Nick Saban ain't going to be on top of the mountain forever. Alabama is not going to always be. Every great dynasty has fallen. They ain't going to be great forever. But here's the other argument, that I have. Remember when they said they couldn't go to a 12 or 16 game playoff because, the kids are going to be playing too many games and, the students, athletes are not going to be able to study and, they're going to have too much, going on during exam time and finals time and, it's just too much and we can't do it. Now we can agree. I told you so. That was a lame argument then because all of a sudden in a heartbeat, it's been fixed now. There's rumors that there were going to be lawsuits if the college football playoff didn't get this together. Lawsuits. Anytime there's that kind of money involved and you're constantly keeping people away from it and you're constantly getting only certain people access to it, lawsuits. We live in a litigious society. So now all of a sudden, we can play 12 games. 12 teams. We can have 12 teams. We can play a few extra games. So in other words, you could have been playing 8, 12, possibly even 16 teams in a playoff like formerly known as Division I AA, now known as the FCS, like they've been doing all along. And they didn't die. Their bodies didn't fall apart. And they still took their exams and they still graduate. I've always said, man, stop lying. Just come out and say, hey, listen, man, we're making enough money right now that we don't even want to change it. That would have played better than the whole, Nick Saban getting, these kids, they play, so many games the way it is, and their bodies this and their bodies. You don't care about their bodies. You don't care about how many games they play. You care about championships and your contract. Yeah, there's some kids you're close to. I'm not saying he's a robot and has no feelings, but stop with the, oh yeah, we just, they're poor kids. If we're not there to keep them from themselves, they'll play 28 games. All of a sudden, a couple of lawsuits get rumored and possibly even filed, and College Football Playoff Committee, the business people, decided, yeah, we don't want that. So let's expand it. Are we going to 6 teams? Nope. We're going to 8 teams? Nope. We're going to recommend 12. Why not 16? We're going to do 12. Well, why 12? Yeah, because that'll give the people that are about to sue us access to the money that they're about to sue us for. We'll still keep our favorite 4 with a bye, and everybody else will take their chances from there. We'll see how it works out. I'll believe it when I see it. AJ, I never liked the BCS, and I liked the college football playoff system even less. What do you think would make it work? I think that for some reason, Division I or the FBS seems to think that they're so much smarter and greater than every other level. But every other level has a real playoff. Division II, FCS, high school, Little League, every other level, pros, every other level has a true playoff. And for me, because of the arrogance of the powers that be with the BCS, that was crazy. And the college football playoff was just the BCS with a different element. It's the same thing. But at the end of the day, don't you just want the number 1, 2 teams on the field? No, I don't. I'm a little different. I want as many teams as can have a chance to compete, get hot, and do very similar to what we see in March Madness. I want to see a Gonzaga against Duke. I want to see the little guys against the Blue Bloods. I want to see that. I wish Central Florida, not in some random bowl game, but in a college football playoff environment, I wish that Central Florida team, not the one after that, but that Central Florida team would have had a chance to play against the other playoff teams. Yeah, but when you see them in the bowl games are different. A, they don't count for anything. And B, the players are not as motivated. Sometimes you have coaches that take other jobs and they leave before the bowl game. No, it's not the same. I think this is the right direction, but for the wrong reason. So therefore, I don't think they're going to do it right. All right, let me take my break. If you want to get in your questions, 281-453-1000, or you can text me 832-403-5005, or email me, aj@kyoksports.com. Be right back.
1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legendary KYOK.
If your loved one has passed away due to COVID-19, pay close attention to this message. You could be entitled to a death benefit of over $300,000. The U.S. government has set up a fund to pay families relief if they've lost a loved one due to COVID-19. We know this is a hard time for you, and this fund has been set up by the federal government to help ease your pain. The compensation includes a death benefit and lost wages benefit. Time is limited, so we urge you to make a free phone call right now. There's no cost to you for this claim. All legal fees are only covered once you receive your money. So if you've lost a loved one due to COVID-19, call the legal helpline right now to find out if you qualify for a cash award. Here's our number, 800-876-7047, 800-876-7047, 800-876-7047. That's 800-876-7047. Paid for by the IPG Law Group.
Beautiful people, this is Major. This is why I love you on the lunch break.
Thank you, Major. Appreciate it. Right here on the lunch break on the all-new 92.3 FM, the legendary KYOK AM 1140, and streaming live on KYOKradio.org. We appreciate you. Somebody just sent me a thing. I didn't see this article, but they said, here's what the college football playoff would have looked like in the 2020 season. So the top four conference champs who would have got the bye would have been, of course, Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, and Oklahoma. They would have gotten the bye. And then the rest of the field that would have played to play them, you would have had number 5, Notre Dame, number 6, A&M, number 7, Florida. So I rest my case. I rest my case already. You got the second tier major Power 5 conference folks in there. A&M, Florida, Georgia, Iowa State, Indiana. Those are all 5 from Power 5 conferences that weren't good enough to beat Alabama, wasn't good enough to beat Oklahoma, wasn't good enough to beat, Ohio State. So then the non-Power 5 schools that would have been Cincinnati and Coastal Carolina. That's it. That's it. Let me tell you what's still missing. There's not one Pac-12 school on there. Not one. They're Power 5. Based on the rankings now, A&M would have been in, Florida would have been in, Georgia, Iowa State, Indiana. They take the place of the Pac-12 champ? And all you really get added to is Cincinnati and Coastal Carolina? So the Coastal Carolina and Notre Dame winner would have took on Alabama. The Indiana A&M winner would have taken on Ohio State. The Iowa State Florida winner would have taken on Clemson. And the Georgia Cincinnati winner would have taken on Alabama. So in that second round, we would have been stuck with another SEC matchup. Thanks for sending that to me, Juan. I appreciate it. Big shout out to Juan. No. That ain't it. It's all about the money, man. It's all about the money. It ain't about doing the right thing. Let's talk a little football, NFL football. Aaron Rodgers ain't playing with these people. Aaron Rodgers ain't playing with these people. Aaron saying, I ain't coming to your OTAs. I ain't playing coming to your PTAs. I ain't playing coming to your MTAs. Whatever you got, I ain't coming. I'll see you when I see you. And if I see you before you see me, you won't see me. Whatever is reason, whatever you think. And what kills me is folks are still talking about the Jordan Love thing, when people directly related to Aaron Rodgers have said it wasn't a Jordan Love thing. It was not Jordan Love. Aaron Rodgers said it's a business. This team has got to go out and find future players. Got to have some depth. And even went on to say, through somebody who had direct contact with him, they don't have to run everything by me. And Aaron Rodgers is like, there's no way Jordan Love was going to come out of, or anybody was going to come out of college and be me. So what did he do? He went out and won the whole doggone league MVP, proving his point. But man, the commentary is still, Jordan Love, they didn't give him a heads up. Well, Jordan Love is doing what he's supposed to do too. Jordan Love is going out, getting himself ready to play, to start, whether he starts or not. If Aaron Rodgers shows up 22 minutes before the game 1, he should be the starter. He should be. You don't have to agree with me. League MVP, Super Bowl champ, Aaron Rodgers, our franchise quarterback, he shows up 22 minutes before the game. Aaron, whatever we did, we apologize. Here's your helmet. Here's your suit, your uniform. Go ahead. Here's what we're running. That's not fair to Jordan Love. It's business. Aaron Rodgers doesn't show up, Jordan, you the man. We were behind you 100%. Here's the little thing that goes in your helmet. Can you hear us? Check 1, check 2. Let's go. But Aaron Rodgers is not playing with whatever is going on. Another quarterback who had some off-season jaundice, Russell Wilson, met with the media and said, hey, I never demanded a trade. But that's all we heard all offseason long. Russell Wilson's demanded a trade. He demanded a trade to one of these few teams. Russell Wilson said, I never demanded a trade. Said I was frustrated at the end of the year. Oh, wow, he's a competitor. He wanted to win. Imagine that. And he said, hey, listen, if it's time for you all to move on from me, here's a couple of places I'd like to play. What I like about all of that went on up in Seattle is they were able to fix it. Something tells me somebody picked up a phone and said, yo, Russ, you free? You busy right now? Hey, meet me over at blah, 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 blah. Wear your mask and meet me over at blah, 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 blah. Let's talk. Because whatever they did, it got calmed down, and now they're ready to roll. And I still see Seattle being very successful in the NFC West. Very tough division. But believe it or not, I see Seattle winning that division again. Everybody's got the Rams. All right, we'll see. Matthew Stafford, we'll see how much better he can make the Rams than they were under Jared Goff. And San Francisco, are they back? I don't know. We'll see. I still got Seattle winning that division. And then, of course, the Houston Texans still got their issues with Deshaun Watson. But I was saying yesterday that what in the world did they get or see during the OTAs for them to decide they don't need a mandatory minicamp this coming week? That part aside, it kind of did Deshaun Watson a favor. What are you talking about, AJ? By them not having mandatory minicamp and him not showing up, which he's not going to show up, they don't have anything to fine him for. He only gets fined when he misses a mandatory practice. And maybe David Culley, Nick Caserio, and the Pope of the Texans, Jack Easterby, decided, let's just not have him, and then we don't have any confusion with Deshaun. Maybe behind the scenes, some way, somehow, they are trying to work things out. I'm not saying work things out to keep him. I'm saying work things out to make him go away. I mean, it was reported about 2 weeks ago that the attorney for Cal McNair was trying to get all the sides to come up with a settlement agreement. All of the ladies, Tony Busby, and the attorney for Deshaun Watson, Rusty Hardin. That was odd. So some random attorney walks in and says, y'all, my name's AJ. Oh, AJ, who you with? Oh, I'm an attorney. Oh, okay, good. I just happen to be the attorney for Cal McNair. I'm just wondering, are you guys anywhere close to a settlement? Settlement? Yeah, where you don't have to go to court. Might be able to wrap this up soon. I mean, what if they offered you this? Would you take it? Something tells me, and again, I don't have any inside information. I don't have any, person leaking me information. I feel like they just kind of shut it down for a minute to see if they can't get that part of it out of the way before they really have to get back to it. And that's get back to it with Tyrod Taylor, with, Driscoll, with Davis. Davis Mills. I feel like that's what they're doing. Not just that, but I feel like that's part of it. And oh yeah, by the way, we don't have to have all the media attention of, they're fining Deshaun Watson $92,000 a day for missed a mandatory mini camp practice. I mean, they don't need that right now. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. Again, the ladies should have their day in court. Take sexual assault very serious. Very serious. Whether it's physical sexual assault, whether it's unwanted advances, whether it's words, whatever it is. Very serious. Should have their day in court. If they choose to settle, so be it as well. Not everybody wants to go through the unimaginable nightmare of what it would be going in and out of court every day and having your face and your name and your emotions exposed. I mean, just reading some of those stories of what these ladies, exhibited as far as emotions and feelings and even physically. Some people don't want to be the martyr for that. And I know as much as we want to say, oh, you got to do it so that it doesn't happen to somebody else. Some people just, they want to live their lives. They don't want to be that person. And if that means, we've done our part by exposing him for who he is, and now we're going to settle to just try and go on with their lives, we got to let people do that. I'm not saying that they should. Listen to me. I'm just saying we got to let people do that if that's what they want to do. So easy to make decisions for other people that we may never have to make. So that was that. And then, of course, Julio Jones has reported to his new team, and Julio gave a very, very amazing love back to the folks in Atlanta. I mean, he said, "Hey, listen, I love y'all. I wouldn't be Julio Jones if it wasn't for how y'all treated me in Atlanta." And then he also said this was business; it wasn't personal. He thanked the Blank family and, the other folks that were responsible for him being there. So Julio Jones, a class act. I hope he stays healthy. I hope he has a big season in Tennessee. Not because I'm hating on the Texans, but because I can root for a guy having a great season and not feel like I've let down, my team by rooting for him. I'm one of those cats I can kind of be happy for a lot of folks, all right? All right. Before I go, I got a shout out to the folks over at the Sweet Home Missionary Baptist Church. They got a family food distribution going on this coming Wednesday at 7104 Homestead Road in Houston. It's going to take place between 1 and 3. If you know somebody that could use a little help with some food and some water and some, maybe some other things that they need, make sure they get over to the Sweet Home Missionary Baptist Church this coming Wednesday between 1 and 3. The address, 7104 Homestead Road in Houston, 77028. And a lot of love and shout out to the community sponsors, Lockwood Funeral Home, Harris County Precinct 3 Constable Sherman Eagleton, State Representative Symphonia Thompson, the Greasy Spoon Soul Food Bistro, and the Houston Food Bank. Thank you for taking care of those in our community that have that need. All right? Okay, let me get ready to go. It's been fun. I told you so Freestyle Friday. I told you so edition of Freestyle Friday. Milwaukee did what some people didn't think they'd be able to do. They beat Brooklyn 86-83. Giannis 33-14 in the win. Kevin Durant 30-11 in the loss. Game 4, Sunday, 2 o'clock Central. It'll be Brooklyn still up 2-1. Utah up 2-0 after beating the Clippers 117-111. Donovan Mitchell still hot, 37 in the win. Kawhi Leonard 21 in the loss. Game 3 tomorrow, 7:30 Central in LA. Tonight, Atlanta hosting Philly at 6:30. That series is tied at 1 each. Denver going to host Phoenix. That'll be tonight, 9 o'clock. They're down 2-0. Astros got outscored 12-8 by Boston. They'll visit Minnesota for the next 3. Game 1 tonight, just after 7. The Rangers visit the Dodgers tonight at 9. Jonathan Joseph, former Houston Texan, calling it quits after 15 seasons. He was with the Texans from 2011 to 19. College Football Playoff Committee proposed expanding from 4 teams to 12. From 4 teams to 12. All right? All right. That's it for me. Y'all have a blessed and safe weekend. As always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. Wear your mask where you're supposed to. Wash your hands like you're supposed to. Be sensitive to everybody around you as far as the distance they need. And when you see that racism, kill it. Kill it. How do you kill it? You just don't spread it. You don't laugh about it. You don't, joke about it. You just stop it, okay? Now, don't kill the people or the person, the racism, all right? All right, y'all. Have a blessed, safe weekend. We'll talk to you later. Here is Sybil Wilkes with What You Need to Know Today.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Confirming an independent family examination, a North Carolina State autopsy report has confirmed Andrew Brown Jr. died from a penetrating gunshot wound to the head. The unarmed African-American man was killed April 21st by Pasquotank County Sheriff's deputies as they sought to serve an arrest warrant. No charges were filed by the local district attorney, who stated the deputies were justified in shooting Brown. Brown family attorneys continue to press for more answers and the full release of all body camera video. Last year, the U.S. saw substantial increases in the death rates for heart disease, diabetes, and some other common killers. Health experts believe the deaths resulted from people choosing to skip the important doctor's appointments for fear of catching COVID-19. The data released for the deadliest year in U.S. history shows the biggest increases in the death rates for heart disease and diabetes in at least 20 years. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.
All right, y'all. Again, have a blessed and safe weekend. And I really enjoyed y'all. Again, thank y'all for all the love on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter. Of course, on KYOK AM 1140, 92.3 FM. And thank you for streaming us live, okay? Again, y'all, not this, definitely this. Y'all have a blessed, safe weekend. Love ya.